Good morning, Clarice.
Can I speak with you?
May I see your credentials, please? They've been trying to sneak in those ghastly paparazzi, all dying to know about my latest Jurassic Park movie.
Certainly.
Starling, darling, you're not really FBI, are you?
I'm still in training at the academy.
They say I'm an absolute rotter, and I bet you'd love to hear all the juicy details. But I'm not sure a novice like you can handle old Hugo.
Yes, I'm a student. I'm here to learn from you. Maybe you can decide for yourself whether or not I'm qualified enough to do that.
Well, I got thrown out of Cambridge and Oxford, so I'm hardly one to judge. But can you blame me? The professors made such wonderful hors d'oeuvre. Eyeball ceviche and brain tartare.
Most serial killers keep some sort of trophies from their victims.
I didn't.
No, you ate yours.
I did keep a few horticulturology timepieces. Professor Riley Smythe had a lovely little Vacheron Constant tan. Refined taste in watches, but an absolute Philistine. He always insisted Verdi was better than Wagner.
You see a lot. And are you strong enough to point that high-powered perception at yourself? Why don't you look at yourself and write down what you see? Maybe you're frightened.
A watch snob once tried to argue with me. I ate his forearms with some kidney beans and a nice Chianti. Now fly back to Quantico, ma petite pterodactyl. Fly, 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 fly. Okay, hi guys, and welcome to the show. Today, a bit of a part two, a follow-up to the recent Omega Constellation review. If you missed it, have a look back. It's part two, I guess you could call this. So have a look back at part one. I'll leave the link there. Because I did get something fundamentally wrong. And as you guys know, if I get something wrong on this magnitude, well, I think I'm being overly dramatic, but when I get something wrong, I want to address it, and I think the best way really is to make a part two. So consider this an addendum, if you will, to that first review. Now, I'll do a quick wristwatch check. Wearing the Pepsi on the Jubilee, of course. Haven't worn it for a while, so I'm getting that second honeymoon feeling. Anyway, before we get into that, I wanted to address a few things. So about a year ago, I decided not to do YouTube full-time anymore. I decided to only continue part-time, and I think it's worked out. And I alluded to in that video that I would be starting something new, which has come to fruition. Basically, I've been doing freelance editing, video editing, also a bit of consulting to brands, but mainly video editing. In fact, you've probably watched a video I edited outside of my channel, a watch advert, possibly on brands' websites that I edited, and you didn't even know. So, which is really, really cool. So I'm pleased to announce that that's been successful, and I'm gonna persevere. I think it's the best way for the channel because it maintains the channel's independence. It keeps the channel unbiased, and especially the reviews, I want it to be informative, fun, independent. I make videos about things I love and that I want to share. Because at the end of the day, as I've always said, I'm a watch enthusiast. I'm not a guru. I'm not a aficionado or a connoisseur. I would never call myself those things because I think it just would be arrogant, really, and kind of bad form. And I want it to be fun. So, you know, occasionally when I can get Hugo to cooperate and leave his trailer, I'll lure him out with champagne and fresh goat meat. He makes his little appearance and things like this. But most importantly, also, it has to be informative and fair. Fun, informative, and fair. Those are my kind of goals with the channel. Always has been, right? I don't want it to become, you know, like just a selling platform for like a, you know, what was my choice, I guess. And I've said this before, I never want to be a watch dealer to support the channel. Any kind of integrity that the reviews have would have been lost. Look, you can review watches or you can be a watch dealer. You can't do both. It's impossible. I'm a watch enthusiast sharing my passion with you guys. That's what I want to do, and that's what the channel is about and will always be about. It's the most important thing. We're all learning, right? I don't want to be there, you know, buy, you know, like everything's wonderful, you know. That's why there's a negative section in my videos. Some brands like it, some don't. It's unfortunate that some brands even refuse to be reviewed because they don't want any criticism whatsoever. Anyway, we've talked about this at great length. When was it? My pet peeves industry. I'll leave a link to that video up there last year with Mark, which was really great to have his input on how the industry works. No video is perfect. I make mistakes all the time. I'm completely aware of that. It's part of the process. Unless I would spend a month doing one watch review and had one watch review a month. But there's just so many watches. I want to kind of be a bit quicker with it. But at the same time, you know, I spent about a week making the review on this. Sometimes you miss things. Other times the information is just not out there. I very much kind of have blinders on when I'm talking about a watch, because I don't want to become influenced by anybody else's opinion. So that kind of makes it difficult too, and you're going to miss things. Also because I want to stay original. With the exceptions of probably Russell, shout out to Russell, Mark of course. I predominantly only watch the Italian watch channels because, like I said in my Instagram post, adesso sono riimparando mia prima lingua, because one day I do hope to do a video entirely in Italian, spero. For those of you unaware, I actually studied cinema in Florence. I studied Italian neo-realism, so, you know, Rossellini, De Sica, this kind of stuff. So it's always been a big passion to go into that direction. I just didn't know how. And it's strange how it's kind of worked out from doing intros like you've seen on my reviews again and again and again. It's allowed me to get to a position where I can actually get hired to make similar content for brands, which is just fantastic. And it allows me to keep the channel going with a sense, and I hope a sense of verisimilitude and authenticity, because at the end of the day, it's YouTube, right? It's you. It's about the creator making content they enjoy and want to share. I never want to be one of those people that kind of chases views or feels they have to make this video or that video. No, I'm just sharing stuff I love. For example, the Rite of Derby video, or the video I did on Jura, and the link to German horology. You know, these are things I'm fascinated in, and they're not going to be massively successful, but because not everybody's interested in horology, perhaps, or history. They want to hear more about watches. But for me, it's incredibly rewarding to share things that are close to my heart like that. Because, you know, horology is not just watches. Watches is a tiny, tiny, tiny part of the story. It's an incredibly enriching, wonderful, wonderful world to dive into. Which reminds me, I want to do another Lego building video. I need to do that. I've got a couple of Lego sets I need to... but yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm doing what I want, what I love. So what did I get wrong about the Constellation? Well, I put in the negative section, I criticized it for the clasp. I said the integrated bracelet, which I love, does not have an extension system. I would really like to see it. And it does. I was really, really wrong. But it's highlighted a few kind of weaknesses, especially, I think, on Omega's part. Also, the information out there, I couldn't really find out how it worked. I only noticed with really playing about with it, and a few of you said in the comments, I was like, you guys were like, yeah, it does have an extension system. Really? And I couldn't figure it out. It's not very intuitive. My negative is still relevant because it was not executed well. And Omega didn't say anything about it on their website. Well, they mentioned it briefly, but only after digging and digging and digging. I think it highlights a few shortcomings of the Omega website. I think it could be better, because if you upgrade something, it's a selling point. You know, you want to mention it, show how it works. So basically what it does is a little hidden button underneath that gives you a choice of pull it in or out, an extra 2 millimeters, I would say. It's not the best system, because then when it's closed, you've got that unsightly gap. It's a bit wobbly. It doesn't feel very refined, but it is there. So yeah, I kind of messed up there. I certainly got it wrong. With or without the extension system, I still think it's a cracking watch. My perceptions certainly have changed. I mean, I will always predominantly love the quintessential 1950s Constellation more. I never liked the Manhattan, but I can say now I've had even more time with this, and thanks to Moya for lending it in and so graciously allowing me to have it an extra week to make this video. But it has changed my perception, but I would like to see something a little bit more like the glide lock system in the Submariner. That will always be the best clasp and bracelet, in my opinion. And I understand, because you know, if you look at the structure of this, where are you going to house such a mechanism to make it more adjustable like a glide lock? I guess it's good. It's a good thing it is included. It's just a shame that it wasn't executed in a more intuitive, more solid feeling manner. It's funny, they tried to fix it, but they didn't fix it well. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave it there. Please do add your thoughts, queries, comments, opinions, all the rest of it down below. Don't forget to like this video, very important indeed, and I will catch you hopefully with a more accurate video next time. I'm sorry about that, but anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, ciao.